Alrighty. We should be live. Oh, I'm not sure. Someone tell me, please. But yeah, we are back live after a very long pause from the stream before. We are now on Tech Tree episode, or Tech Tree Showcase episode 30, today with the T110E4. And we are getting into the last 6 tanks remaining here in this series, which is gonna end very soon. And I just want to take a quick mention again before we start with the stream. Due to us only having, excluding this one, 6 more streams of the Tech Tree Showcase series to go, of course excluding all the lines that are gonna enter the game in the future. I will cover them, of course, but I would just like to throw the point out there that if you have any ideas what we could do next as like a weekly thing on Sundays to replace the Tech Tree Showcase, then please let me know, because I'm currently looking for ideas on what we could continue this series with, or well, you know, replace it with. Because I'm currently having some ideas that include going through all the premium tanks, of course not from the low tiers, but you know, more the higher ones, or doing the maps, stuff like that. Just, you know, what you would be interested in, and let me know on that, either on Discord or comment section or wherever you'd like, so that I can just collect some feedback if you have any. Without further ado, we have the E4 today, who won the poll just barely over the Sheridan. 268 still not getting any love. But yeah, we're getting into the last 6 tanks here. The 140 will be kept for last because, I mean, you gotta be honest, the 62 is kind of similar, so... Regardless, we have the T110E4 today, and that will be the American tank destroyers, starting from tier 4 up to 10. We have a very interesting and full-blooded tank destroyer line here, the third tank destroyers of the American, and it will be fun. We are again having 2 games per tier, talking about the stats of the tanks and how I play them, what I think, and maybe you can pick up some tricks along the way. But why don't we go ahead and start at tier 4 M8. Of course, if you always have something to add or want to know something about a certain tank, let me know in the chat and I'll be happy to answer. And I think with that we can start, right? But before we actually do that, let's say hello to Dark, Ferris, David, and Senko, who were here early, as well as Rantley, Noopski, as well Spicy, and that's it pretty much. Alright, and Wilhelm, hello as well. Alright, let's just start with the M8A1 then. And it's an interesting tank, has a very interesting gun. I would say it's a better version of the M7, which we featured last week, having 160 alpha and similar as standard round penetration, but way better when it comes to the premium rounds. 157 is pretty damn good for tier 4. DPM, of course, tragic as it's low tier, and so is the gun handling with 3.7 seconds aim time, as well as 0.4 dispersion. Not that great. And yeah, 8 degrees of gun depression is pretty solid. In terms of mobility though, this tank is very slow when it comes to traverse, and that will be the case for the rest of the line as well. The traverse speed, or just a traverse circle, really not great, and you gotta have to work your way around that with 60 in reverse as well, which will help. But yeah, in terms of armor, this thing has no armor. I think that's all we need to talk about. This is the equipment that I am running. Actually, this is a better choice here, and let's just jump into it. Hey Pooh, how you doing? I know, French boy. Just be patient. It's been 1 day since the stream. Just wait. Everyone waits. We are all waiting. If you watched properly, you will get your reward. You just have to be patient. We also have an A next week, so there's even more keys anyway. But let's not talk about keys today, but the line of the E. And the M8 is a bit of a weird one. It has the mobility more or less of a medium with the, the traverse speed of a heavy tank. When it comes to the turret, the hull is still alright. Pretty much the only tank that has okay traverse speed. But the turret really is not that fast. And let's see what we can do here in this tier 5 game. Or if we can even do, anything. Shot into that hill camp. We don't have a lot of support. Our KV-1 is fairly stocked, if not completely, and so is our Hetzer. So we should not try to counter them all too much. We can get a pixel shot in here to hit. This tank is also very small, so you can hide behind stuff like this pretty easily. Just trying it again there. Did not pay off. Nope, got a bounce there and it's up. Bit of a wrong move on my end. And it still can hit me, so I gotta be extra careful. Same goes for the church. We already found its mark. Hit the upper plate again. Come on, please. Could do something about the cap as well. Get one shot in. I think we can let the Churchill fight the KV for the moment. We need to deal with the Kappas here. This is getting dangerously close. Over peaks though. Oh, he's not the main Kappa here. I think there's a Largo as well inside. There he is. Got that Leopard out, but there's also an A20 inside now. Just keeps on stacking up. Wanna be a bit more patient with moving in just yet. Or just rushing down. See if I can clear the Stuk first. Or no, turret first of course. Shot. And I think it will be time to push down now, as it's reaching the 90 area here. Around, get a quick shot in. Oh, set him on fire. And the Lago here, very slow in terms of their reaction speed here. Missing their shot as well, and we gotta try to get away from that A20. Because he is gonna be dangerous here. He has better reload and more hit points. And of course he can out-traverse us. We got a shot in for free, also a very high roll. We're still going to need 2 more here. Let's bait out a shot. One more into him. Okay, V1 thereby has lost his fight. Pick up the kill here on that A20. Clear the Lago. And try to run away from the Churchill. I think that's the best we can do right now. Really, we don't have a realistic chance of doing anything otherwise. As long as the team is not helping. Still not really happy with how this game turned out for them. This is very risky. The Church has the smallest gun, so he reloads super fast. Not sure if he's knowledgeable about shooting through stuff though. Let's try to keep him tracked. Oh, and they killed each other. Didn't get our 6th kill there, but I think we did pretty well. And we get an ace tanker. But yeah, man. That Stuck really was not happy with us. New player as well. Feel a bit sorry for them, but that's all I can do really. And we take the ace. That was a really good game. It was a slow start, I would say. Really slow start. Slow start. Sorry, I mean a slow. Oh yeah. Sorry, my mind is not really working properly right. I'm still trying to comprehend what just happened. Ah, that would be second place in the Hall of Fame. But due to it being low tier in the press account, I'm not gonna send it. Anyway. But of course, David, if you wanna send or save this one, feel free to do so. That was a pretty good game. Hey, Gravy. But yeah, I think that shows pretty well what to do with the M8A1. I don't really want to jinx it any further, so I think we just jump straight into the tier 5 here, because I think that was a really good display of how to work this tank. Use the somewhat good traverse speed that you have. Be aware of the turret rotation speed that is not that great. Try to outtrade your opponents with the 160 alpha damage. And because their pen is not the highest, make sure that you try to get the flanks of your opponents, especially if you play into it. And yeah. Pretty good game, I would say. I mean, that was just... I mean, it was an ace, right? What else am I supposed to say? But yeah, let's continue with the Wolverine then. Gravy, can I focus on this now, please? You can tell me that on Discord. Regardless, we have the Wolverine now, the step up of the M8, slower with a more deadlier gun. We have way better gun handling now, 3.1 seconds and not the 4 seconds aim time, nor the dispersion going down by pretty much, I think, up to 20%. And your DPM goes up as well now, 6.2 seconds reload with alright penetration. I mean, 128 is of course not the greatest, but 177 APCR should compensate quite well. And with 10 degrees of gun depression, you got yourself a pretty good gun. You're very slow though, slower than the M8 by a long shot. Your power to weight is still pretty similar, I believe, and your top speed is greater. But your reverse goes down, and you're just a more sluggish tank. Of course, you weigh more, and your traverse speed is still okay, but it's not so great. And again, it's not really there. I mean, you got some pretty angled plates that you might be able to work, and you got a pretty meaty gun mantle. But otherwise, there's not really much else that you can do with this tank in terms of armor. This is the way I play it. And let's just jump straight into it, shall we? Well, we are on Yukon now. Not the greatest of maps, and definitely should not be in the low tier pool. But we got a really good matchmaking here, 2 tier 5s on both teams, though we got the tier 5 tank destroyers. So I would say we are in a definite disadvantage here, especially in hit points with a KV1 and a Crusader here as our competition. And we are off to quite a slow start. Guess you seemingly AFK. I think I want to go with the rest of the team here. Maybe take that bush location over there and maybe even try to go here. See if we can get some starting shots in. Eight damage by someone. Amazing. Going for a track shot here. I know I have enough alpha per shot. I was able to track him. Got spotted though. Not that great. Here we have the A20 with the big gun. Let's try to wiggle a bit. As I said, you can bounce a little bit, but it's nothing you should be relying on. speed our way through here and see if we can play against this A20 and hold down. We got way better reload than him. And we got support from the team. Let's see what he has in store for us here. And it seems like it will not be a whole lot. Oh. It's down, nearly losing all of his hit points. Losing his hit points. Push on to the M7. Track them over. And the team clears it. Not sure where the KV-1 is or other A20. Saw the other tank destroyer spotted on the other flank. Already did a pretty good job at clearing this flank. This should be the KV-1. Presumably. Nope, he's over there. Has found the AFK SU-152, and with the Electro spotter we know it's the A20 in the cap. And I also said SU-152, but it's just an 85. That's Amarect as well, which doesn't make too much of a difference. Since we are the tier 5, let's deal with the cap first. Fuel tank hit there. It's pretty good. To make sure not to lose too many hit points, because we still have the KV-1 to fight. Peeking out barely. Strike shot from my teammate. Angle up my armor as well as possible in terms of a profile. Teammate misses and we cannot play him. That's just a KV-1 left. And he seems to be fully upgraded. Nope, not quite. He has the stock turret and gun. So let's just rain down fire upon him. Critting track and engine now. Teammates are struggling to penetrate. And we get a win. Solid game here in the Wolverine. Again 2000 damage. Not as much as the last game. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Would you look at that? We got a second ace in a row. So far, this is up to a good start. Wow. I mean, I'm not sure what to say really right now in this situation, because I'm currently considering to now move on to the Hellcat immediately as well, or just to stick with the Wolverine to still play the second game, even though it also was an ace. What do you think, chat? Should I play second game? Just for safety, or should we move on to the Hellcat? You guys gonna have to decide that. Because I don't mind either way, of course. I'm just doing this for you. And for your entertainment / learning. Move on. This is gonna be a quick tech showcase if this keeps going on this way. Well, let's move to the Hellcat. I'm gonna have to refill ammo here, as that got changed in the update. But let's talk about, as usual, with the gun first. It's a 90mm here. Again, an upgrade on aim time and dispersion. This already really good. 0.32 here on tier 6. Quite a good number. And with 3 seconds aim time, really can't do anything wrong. You have not too much DPM, but 7.2 seconds reload speed. For 2 to 5 alpha damage is pretty much alright. And the penetration, which is now buffed to 175 standard, is pretty good. It was previous 160. And yeah, nice little upgrade then. Maybe not necessary, but definitely can help for the newer players. And the premium runs of 243 untouched. Really good as well, can penetrate up to tier 10 tanks if you know where to shoot. So if you maybe have some struggle aiming, 2 key will be your biggest helper. You have 10 degrees of gun depression again, really nice to have that, very American as well. And this one is the speediest out of the entire line here, with 65 forward, only 15 backwards. Not the nice reverse that the M8 had. Still pretty good. And we have also really good power to weight, 28. But the issue here again is the turret reverse speed. It's not great with 20 degrees per second. And of course, basically no armor. The only stuff where something can bounce is of course the gun mantlet. So if you really hold down well, you're gonna just rip apart your opponents. And yeah, this is how I play my Hellcat. Let's add a toolbox. And the reason I play with a supercharge here is the aim time is already really pretty good in my opinion. So I'd like to have little bit extra shell velocity, especially since it's AP rounds as standard. They're usually not that fast and it just helps really well. So let's see what we can accomplish with the Hellcat. Play 4 games to compensate. Yeah, they're gonna reload buff. I mean, really, the Hellcat didn't need a pen buff. The Hellcat doesn't need a reload buff. What the Hellcat needs is more ammo capacity. And I've said this before and I will keep saying it. Ammo capacity should not be a balancing factor. But sadly it is, and it's what we have to sadly accept for now. Can't change that. And it takes quite a while to get into a game now. Of course, this is a Tech 3 tank, don't be confused. I just enriched it for, you know, for fun. Because again, this is my press account, not my main. So please keep that in mind. And yeah. Let's see if we can get into a game. Ah, and there we go. Mirage. A good matchmaking. Top tier yet again. And let's see if we are able to get 3 for 3 aces. That would be a pretty nice accomplishment for Tech 3 Showcase.
Let's get this show on the road.
And the way I like to play my Hellcat is rather aggressive. Very far forward, so I'm going to be playing on this ridgeline here. But it seems that the team wants to go more left orientated, so I'm going to be a bit more passive. See if I can put 1 or 2 shots out and then relocate immediately after. It doesn't look like we can put out a shot, so let's move out. See if we can get some damage on that ARL here, who seems to be all alone, left by his teammates. And drops pretty much instantly here. Very quick kill there. On the enemy heavy tank. At the engine of that 12T. Careful, of course, the Hellcat does not have any armor. Don't want to get shot. Preferably even spotted. Let's do our best to accomplish and make the profile as small as possible that the enemy could see, if they even. Oh, bit of a poor aim on my side there. Did not see the map properly. I'm still unspotted, fortunately enough. So got some premium rounds for this really strong front of that 88. But now that he's turning it to the side, he should be able to penetrate with AP rounds pretty easily. And just a track shot here. Can we get a quick second follow-up shot in? Yes, we can. Clearing the kill. And the Panther 4 as well. Oh, the Nightmare got that one. And it's just 2 enemies left. A quick game here. Not really able to show what this tank can do. The enemies did fall rather quickly. Trying to use the HE here to my advantage. Was going for a bit extra damage and taking out the more dangerous target first. And we get a roughly 2k damage game again. And win. Yeah, I'm not too sure either. Placing first this time, not an ace tanker, but see if we can get another good game here in the second round. The second round of this Tech 2 showcase. As we were blazing through tier 4 and 5. And the Hellcat, if it can be mastered, very rewarding tank. Especially if you are able to use the camo value properly. And let's see what the second game has in store for us. Need to wait. Timer is really having a joy today. With not wanting to give us tier 6 matches, it seems. I would not mind playing a T7 either though. If I am honest. Let's see if we can jump into a game here in the next couple seconds. Because it's not great just sitting in the queue, of course. Want to show what the tank is capable of. I mean, I'm pretty sure I did that enough on my channel. But for those who are new, of course, or want to rewatch the series, regardless, I have to show them some gameplay. And we end up in a match T6 only here. And we get another more deserts orientated map with Black Goldville here. And let's see how we are able to pull through this one. Black Goldville I like to play either with this bush location or even more aggressive on this ridgeline in the front right here. And as the Cromwell takes that spot, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go for this one, see if I can catch someone early here. It makes a bit too early for me. And the Hellcat there. One like the empty Orderstück here. Very easy quick shot in. You can even stay down here if you want to. And we did not even get spotted. That was a rather poor shot. I'm gonna try to stay as low as possible here to the ground. We have an Eraser and a Dicker Max here who both can hit really hard if I'm not careful. The sim does go for this MT25 here, who did end up bouncing one of the shots. And as I said before, pretty sure it did hit the gun mantler. With a bit of help from the teammate there. In the Dicker Max we were able to clear him here. Ooh. Rather fortunate timing here, avoiding the eraser for his arrival. Let's see if we can fight against him here, getting that track shot out. And knowing that his turret rotation speed is not the greatest, should be able to outmaneuver him here rather easily. Clearing that. And leaving just 2 opponents left here for this game. And a pretty decisive victory. GG. Not too impressive results for the Hellcat, but I think we did pretty well showcasing what it can and can't do. And yeah, that's the T6 tank destroyer from the E4 line. Let's move on to the tier 7 tank, which is the T25-2. And the T25-2 is not liked by many. It is a more or less hidden gem in my eyes. And let's talk through why. Starting with the gun, you again have a 90mm, same as on the Hellcat, with similar penetration numbers, upping onto 185, the damage being the same, and even more premium penetration, which is really incredible for a tier 7 tank. And as I said before, you're able to pen pretty much anything. Now the gun handling is pretty much the same. You get a bit more dispersion here on the tank, and the DPM increases massively, going up to 4.8 seconds reload here. Getting close to halving compared to the Hellcat, and still with 10 degrees of gun depression, even or just in general better armor layout, but of course a bit slower because of that, having to compensate only a top speed of 56 here, but still a rather impressive 15 reverse, and 19 power to weight with still again not great reverse speed. And here again the gun mantlet can bounce some stuff, and this thing here is totally impenetrable as it's not part of the hitbox. So if you play this thing and hold down, it will be rather hard to penetrate. So yeah, this is the way I like to play my T25-2, and let's jump into it. And let's see what we can do, or how long it will take for us to find a match. That is your fault, Layla. And hi, nothing. Didn't even notice. And hello, Jerry, as well as Luca. Hey, bounced. Let's hope we don't have to wait another minute and a half again to get a queue time. And indeed we get our first match. And it is a tier 8 game here, this time on Vineyards with the T25-2. Rather interesting lineup. Let's see if we can get into a position up there using the gun depression and accuracy of this tank. You have to be careful, our 047 does not seem to want to play on that flank. Nor does anyone of the team, in fact, so you have to be careful. So let's see what we are able to do with it. Of course, it is a rather risky move to go here by myself. I am well aware. That was a blind shot, may I add. Was 400 damage from Scorpion, I assume. Their shot indeed blind. And I think I will have to get the hell out of here. Yep, and that's the risk I was talking about. Well, Layla, that's all on you, as I said. But yeah, I guess as long as we wait for the tank to come back, why don't we have a little chat? Which game are you talking about? Nothing bad. This one? Do I recognize you? Or is it the game before? I remember your name. It doesn't seem that way. So you'll have to help me out there, nothing. But yeah. The last Hellcat. Ah, okay. Cromwell. Hmm. Okay, cool. Well, that's rather unfortunate. Why did you get banned though? What did you do, you bad boy? Yeah, I don't know if that is rather weird. I'm not sure either why my queue times are so long right now. I can't really tell you. Where is 25-2? I probably just left it running the game. I mean, I said it at the start, it's very risky. I got punished for my risk, so don't do that. Don't try that at home, basically. The thing is, Lyceum, I only play solo in my Tech Tree Showcase, other than if I have a guest on stream. Lilda. I mean, nothing got it. Push it. Oof. Well, if you say so. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing that, nothing. Even if he did it first. Oh, there's our... Oh, we won. And I played 2 games extra, or 1 game extra, because I don't really think I can count that one as a showcase if I died first without showing anything about the tank. Doc, I hope you're not gonna start singing. Oh, what is wrong with this queue time? Oh, never mind. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. Not a sing slipped my mouth. Alright, so let's see. Lol. Endgame. Alright then. Well, let's see. I could either take a position up top here, of course, which is possible. But I'd rather wanna go here. Play with that bush. Oh. Alright, my D didn't work there. That was a bit weird. The D did not want to function. Oh, we got a Panther M10 here. Yeah, this is what I mean with the DPM here. It's really wild. 2.8 is pretty damn good, and if you can pump out the shots whilst your enemy is approaching you, this is really good. We took a shot from the back there. That's the SU, I'm pretty sure, so we need to move forward here. Big shot from the smash on that boulder. And we pretty much got this side secure now, I think. See if we can show the accuracy of this tank a bit. Oh, that was a miss from the smasher. I didn't see that. Like I was shootable. Mistakes were made. Doesn't seem like I'm gonna be really getting a lot out of this game. Nice track shot there. Clear him up.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
And the SU is the last one. Up top. Might be able to get a free shot in here. Might not. There he is. Oh, really good accuracy. Oh, and he's out. I do nothing, but only on occasions. But lately I haven't been using voice chats in general a lot, so you know. Guess it comes from that. Been pretty busy with as well the tournaments now that have been happening throughout the month. And now that I'm set for NA as well, not gonna stop for the near future. So yeah, let's see if we can get a more impressive game. Because the first one was nothing you want to talk about, and the second one was rather underwhelming. I mean, I was able to show the DPM, or more or less the reload of this tank, when we picked apart that M10. But other than that, that was quite a whitewash, so let's see if we can do a bit better on this game here. On Canyon, another tier 8 game. I'd like to play there, but that's more positioned for tanks with alpha damage. But I don't really want to go to the middle either, because the turret doesn't allow for a proper fight. So I might just end up playing here a bit, maybe going further if no one is here. No, only medium does not want to go middle, which is wait, both of our mediums. Just now moving towards that. Losing quite a lot on information here. Weird teams we have to really. Mauer pressure in the middle. That is an interesting location for the tank. Terra here. Pretty much annihilated already. That was a bounce. See if we can get a second shot in. Seems to have hit. We just need to know if it penetrated or not. As I said before, I will take this corner here, because I think this will be my best chance of holding back the enemy force to a certain degree, just overlooking my team pretty well. As long as they are in the right positions, of course. Fortunate timing. Come on then. Just broke. Lost our Panther now. See if we can shoot the ice 5 here. Can. What a low roll, 169. I think might be the minimum roll for a 225 alpha damage gun. Shoot them more aggressive. Shooting through the tanks. Which is not the easiest task. Really don't want to go aggressive just yet. Oh, that went very high. Bit too low. We can. Oh no, missing 3 times in a row here. The gun not treating us well when it comes to accuracy right now. I think we shall ignore that Mauer pressure for the time being. Not a lot he can do currently anyway. He should focus more dangerous targets.
That one didn't go through.
Like that. Oh, that mobile shit all down. Ah, that was unfortunate timing. Now we're starting to get boxed in here, so we start picking more damage. Especially kills.
Like that one went right through.
Definitely not that way. See if we can get a track shot. We definitely can. And put one more into him. We'll push. Oh no, I low rolled massively. 180 out of 225. Does mean that we take a shot from him, so we will not really have a chance of winning this. Yep.
Vehicle destroyed.
Well. Well, rather unfortunate game for the tier 7, but I guess it pretty much shows the limits of this tank as well. And with that said, let's move on to the prototype. T28. Hey there, Gadrak. Rip Street? Oh yeah, Jesus. Oh, my internet is failing. Ooh. Alright, good night, nothing. I'm gonna wait till it stabilizes, because currently it's at 500. Which is not where it should be. It hasn't crashed, it's just very bad right now. Oh, we're picking up steam again. Yeah, we should be back on track. Alright. Apologies for the lag. German Wi-Fi, you know. That's just how it be, but we're moving on to T8 now. The prototype. And we get a gun upgrade again. I know that it's laggy. Said it. Sorry. Should be fixed now. More or less once it starts going back to normal. Because it's currently outputting double the bitrate that it should. There we go, back to normal. Alright, so we get a gun upgrade here for the T28A prototype, sorry. Your aim time goes up drastically, and your dispersion as well is not the greatest. But your DPM is pretty much exactly the same as before. With 2.8 here, only 9 DPM difference. In fact, but you gain a lot of penetration. 248 and 297 is gonna be more than enough to penetrate most opponents that you will be facing with standard rounds, and if you cannot penetrate, then premium rounds will be the way to go. 10 degrees of gun depression, again, really nice to have, but the issue with this tank, very slow. Come on. Fix yourself. Hey. Now it puts out too much bitrate again, which makes no sense. It's limited to 6K and it's currently at 11. Makes a lot of sense. Come on, go down again. Thank you very much. Alright, we should be down to normal quality again. Hopefully for the last time that we need to. But yeah, the engine on this tank is not for now. 20 top speed, 10 reverse. You are very slow. And 11 top power to weight is not that great. Not that great. So yeah, you're very slow with a bit of armor, not a whole lot. You do have pretty strong front here, which is slightly angled, but can be penetrated with premium rounds. You also have a weak spot here on your cheeks, here and here. And of course the side can be easily HE'd, and so can the booty. And yeah. That's really it to this armor layout. There's not a lot to say. One thing to mention, this thing cannot fully traverse its turret around. You only have about here to here. So you don't have a full turret rotation available to you. So if you get flanked, you are very screwed unless you have a wall to help you. So always be prepared for that. And yeah, this is the loadout. I'm running the extra bit of armor to really help with the weak spots, which specifically the turret and this front plate here. And then, just like with the Hellcat, the supercharge here to just get that little bit more shell velocity, because I would say the aim time is pretty alright though. I mean, let's put it down. And yeah, let's just jump into it. Hey Martin. Let's see if the Q timer is gonna hate us again. Here we go. We got our first matchup here this time. Didn't have to wait for that long. Yeah, Doc, but premium rounds butter this thing. That's the issue. I want to help with that. But yeah, I'm in more of a love-hate relationship with this tank. I really do like the gun. It's a really nice gun. But of course the speed makes it pretty much unbearable at this point, and to just showcase how much this turret can actually turn. This is the furthest, and this goes for both sides, so you can't turn further than this in terms of your turret. So really be careful with that. And you start engaging your opponents. And it seems that the enemies do want to play bridge, and it's our tier 9 gun. That's not too great. We also have 2 tier 9 mediums in the enemy 2 and heavy and the tank destroyer. Good job, wargame. Nice matchmaking. T32 seemingly AFK in the spawn. Let's see if we can do something about that. Maybe use his hit points here. Farm a little on this low range. Not paying attention. Nice 600 damage in starting off this guy in a good 4-hour damage total. Hey Senko. Oh. One thing I would recommend is wiggling your turret and hull. Make sure to be a harder target when they try to aim at your cheeks. That is the T32 gun. Just leaving us here to hold this flank. He was not doing too great behind us. Currently losing the fight. Free shot into the Kampfpanzer. Light, but seemingly wanting to make some trouble. Putting one and making him a 2-shot. The alpha damage on this gun really does help when having these close range engagements. Angling up the armor a bit will help as well. Push it forward, get a track shot in. See if we can stay alive for a little bit longer here. Doing a bit more damage as we are the last alive now against 7. Bounce on a T-34 and this should be the end of the game here. With a tank to our side. And 3 to the front, we get one more kill here, but that should be it. And that's game. We do a lot of damage though. This thing can pump out DPM really well, as you can see. Unfortunately, the team not so well. And, well, let's see if we can get a better result in the next game. Alright, got another tier 8 game here. Let's see if we can turn this around a little bit more. Secure using the long 12.8mm cannon. The Tiger here is not fully upgraded. Have our other 2 tanks split from the rest of the team. Gonna stick with the heavy tanks here. And punch a hole into his tank. I guess we can. Let's use this ridgeline here as a hold down location against that IS-3. And this gun really does snapshot. Alright, let's fall back here as quickly as we can. And that is not very quickly. Bring one into the ice freeze. Let's clear him, let's go safe with HE. Our Indian will fall very soon here. Not ready. Oh, we can put a shot in fact. Quite connect the hit though. I have to fall back from here very shortly. Especially with that Tiger 2 as well. Should really have a problem pinning us frontally. Let's see what we can do here with our T-28 prototype. Oh, Tiger seems to be stuck. Give us an advantage. Still bouncing off the turret though. And into his turret. Hoping that Tiger can hold off the 34-3 here. You well. Oh, positive trade for me, but we both basically hit the weak spot of the prototype. Which, as I said / mentioned, is the turret ring. Or more or less the cheeks of his tank. Ah, this is not looking good again. I really should not have traded that one, especially since I couldn't hit myself. Making me a one-shot for that 30 for free. Pershing still needs 2 shots to be cleared. And he does clear us with a heat straight into the weak spot. And it seems that we're not going to be able to win this game here, yet again. Well, both games we did solid amount of damage, and this is basically what the T28 prototype lacks in. It is the possibility to sustain itself with the lack of armor, especially on the turret, and the mobility to get around really quickly or get out of position. And yeah, very unfortunate, but both games we did pretty good, and the gun really is the sweet spot of this tank. No, Stenko, I won't. Also, it's a 120mm. Good night, Dart. I mean, Max, I would say the E4, really. The 183 is not worth it. That's all I'm going to say. Alright, let's move on to the T30 though, with its very big boomstick here. And the 155mm cannon. With atrocious aim time, just like the prototype. It's around similar dispersion values here, and you are lowered in DPM value, you know, dropping from 2.8 to 2.7. And I mean, the penetration is great, right? 276 and 320 is just amazing, of course. As a tank destroyer, it's usually that way, and with 640 alpha damage standard here, and still 10 degrees of gun depression. This line does not disappoint, but of course, in terms of speed, you are now faster than a prototype, with now also a fully traversable turret again, and way more armor, but the hull is this time the weak spot here. Basically having a T34 hull, you have a weak spot here in basically everything else. Also have that cupola on top, and the small little triangle here is also a weak spot, and if you have enough penetration, the sides here on the turret can be penetrated, so you got to be really cautious with that, and it can be set on fire easily like any American and beside a cheat, so always keep that in mind when you play this tank. And yeah, that's basically all. I'm playing this with a pretty normal lineup. I think I actually want to go for some extra armor here. And I guess that's all, and let's just jump into it. That's why I talked about the weak spots, Senko. And hey, Capsule. Active. Oh, that apart. Let's hope the queue time won't be too long again. And then we can get some proper games, because the last couple have not been too successful. The queue time doesn't really want to allow it. It's 18, Capsule. Yep, 18, that is me. It is me that is 18. Queue time, there we go. And we do get ourselves top tier. With only 2 tier 9s. But we get 2 tank destroyers, whilst they got themselves a medium destroyer. So we should be rather cautious with what we're doing. Because we want to bring this thing into the desert. Using the hold down capabilities of the T-30. And making sure to deliver big booms. And I want to do a blind shot first here at the beginning of the game. Right about now. Might have been a little bit too high. But you never know. Oh, is he gonna be... Can spot him again? Huh? No, not quite. Let's be a little bit more aggressive in the desert here. Don't think I'm really gonna be able to have a shot into that E1. Let's just cross the open field here. Because it does seem like that is possible. Ooh, we get a fire there on that Tiger 2. Still unspotted, which is very surprising for how tall this tank actually is. Let's look for an HE on the side of that. T28 here. There it is. Aim. That is rather disappointing. Let's see if we can make up for it with attempt number 2 at a big HE damage.
Enemy armor is damaged.
100 is fine, I guess, right? Bit disappointing in terms of the HE, but that always can happen, of course. But this is where the T-30 shines. Taking a hold down spot, just showing your turret, and then delivering the big booms. With the 155mm cannon that this tank can pack. Really is satisfying. Oh. Out of the game. Not sure we're gonna get anything out of that T-32. But this is GG. Hey, Kadan. Did not lose a single bit of hit points. Long T-30. I approve. Yeah, we did solid amount of damage. Nothing too crazy, of course. For a T9 tank destroyer. But yeah. See if we can get a better result in game number 2 here. And again, such good matchmaking. But interestingly enough, we have again a tank destroyer on both sides. Again, both a T-30. But they have a Moisin whilst we have a light tank. Just rather interesting, to say the least. 2 stock tank destroyers and a stock heavy tank. I assume. Yep, seems that way. And a stock light tank. Oh, this is not looking good. And a stock IS-3. Who is not stocked this game? Other than the Tiger. I think every is stock other than me and the Tiger. Oh god. Oh god. Well, let's see what we can do with it. Because they're a little bit alone in the middle. Let's see if we can give them some aid here. Moving over, the T-30 does seem to pack the 120mm, which is also a viable option. Packing more reload and better gun handling, but less alpha damage and penetration values. And that's what I mean with pinning a T-30 in the side. Yeah, if you know where to aim, it's gonna hurt big time. Fire as well. Actually hoped for a fire, that's why I aimed rather far in the back. I didn't expect to get one though. And let's clear up the kill, unless we lower. Cody's paying attention, so let's not peek out too far. Should probably make... Oh, he's on 1 hit point. Oh no! If we can... We don't have engine damage, exactly. Bit too far in the middle though. Was looking for more of the back area of the tank. To do some more fire damage. Pyrotechnics. Fuel tanks! Oop. Maybe not. Maybe in attempt number 2 can get it. Just turns a bit inwards. No, doesn't seem that way. He's really testing my limits here of holding on to a ledge. Oh, oh, that's it.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Really maximizing damage here right now. If I can HE that Hody. Yes, I can. Stay still.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Ooh, that felt good. Oh, oh boy. That's how you play a T30. Maximum effort. Oh. Ooh, that is good. Juicy damage. 6,200 with 8 shots fired. We got a penetrating HE into the side. We got a fire and a second shot. Got a normal engine damage. We fired 3 normally. Some assistance and we one-shotted this lad. Oh boy. Karan, in my opinion, FV4005 is more fun, but the IS-4 is more, let's say, noob friendly. It's easier to learn than 4005, so it really depends on where your skill level is currently. Yeah, that's a good start to a T30, isn't it? 6,000 damage. God damn. Those were some big boy numbers.
Time to roll out.
Top tier yet again. Wait, isn't it? I think this is the 3rd game. Oops. One too much. One too much. Hopla. Oh, this tank is so enjoyable, I just had to play again. Let's just see what we can do. An oasis pause. Ooh. Mr. KB4 does enter this area, he will. Fuel tanks. The engine, I take it. Engine work the same. Did I say to stop? Not very aim that. Not gonna do all that much damage because there's 3 tanks going down without any of my interference. Let's see, they still have a prototype that can be HE. KB4 Bit sleepy there, very slow with its reaction time. Not managed to react in time, leaving us with an easy shot onto the prototype. One more into you. And we just have the Ice 8 left, which we could attempt to HE. Though I believe our team will do too much damage for us to accomplish a fulfilling HE shot. And a GG. Just wait. That's all I'm gonna say. Alright, let's move on to the tier 10 here. After we had an extra game in the tier 9. Alright. Going now to the top of the tree here. We have the T110E4. The American turreted tank destroyer. With again a 155mm alpha. 155mm cannon. We have similar aim time pretty much. Accuracy goes down a little bit, just a tiny bit. You get extra DPM, reload speed down to 13 seconds from the 14.4 that you had previously. You get really nice penetration, 295 and 375 is really good. No calibrator shells needed. Standard 640 alpha damage gun. Only 6 degrees of gun depression though. And also your speed does go up a bit. I'm not quite sure how much compared to the T30, but it's definitely an upgrade. But the question is, are you willing to give up a fully traversable turret plus 10 degrees of gun depression for a turret that can turn pretty much 90 degrees each side, a little bit more pen and reload speed? Sure. This is one of those tier 10s where it's questionable as to whether it's worth it or not, because it looks like a downgrade. From the T30 you have a massive weak spot on top here, massive weak spot on the side, your tracks are easily achievable, and also your front plate is not the greatest, so definitely something you need to pay attention to. Don't try to use the armor of this tank, because it's not going to work. And just try to play this as a second lineup. This is the lineup that I'm playing it with. And let's see what we are able to achieve. Not gonna do that, Senko. This is a more or less serious tech tree showcase. Just like all the other ones. I want to, you know, bring help to the players and not joke around. I want to show what these tanks actually are capable of. And so that's what we're going to be doing. Hopefully with a normal queue time, because it's really been long today. And I'm not all too certain why that is the case. But if anyone has an answer, then you can pop that in the chat. I don't think the E4 needs a cupola buff. I think it just needs something to make it worth it. Because you lose gun depression, you lose that fully rotatable turret, your pen goes up by pretty good amount, but not really enough to make the sacrifice worth it. You also lose out on a lot of the turret armor, and it just doesn't feel like a step up, more like a downgrade. So it's really one of those things where you need to wonder, will it fit my playstyle? Is it worth to get the tier 10? Should I stick with the tier 9? It's always a thing, and the E4 currently doesn't really have anything that is really has it going for it, because we have the E3 now with the speed boost as well, with the front armor. It's always a bit of an issue to see what this tank really should be doing as its own role in the game. Because there's so many tank destroyers in the game that can do pretty much the same or more. So, it's always a toss-up, in my opinion. Karan, it's not an issue though. They are aware of it, and they said it will take time. They're just making sure that there's no issue happening again. Like what happened with Asia twice. No? They're just making sure that their system works. They are working on it, improving it. And that takes time, obviously. And it's not all going to work out immediately. But let's focus on the game. We got into a match here on Mayan Ruins. I kind of want to play the top side here in the middle. Gun depression is going to hinder us quite a bit. So let's see what we can do with it. Hello there, Robert. Good evening. Seems the team does want to perform on the right side here. Which I'm not a personal fan of, but I'd rather go with the team than die. And this is exactly why you want to take control of the middle position. Because of possibilities like these. Oh, they are further than I expected. Get unspotted first. Hope the M60 is not gonna go in my way here. Okay. Bringing in peak M60. We are now unspotted again. He seems to be aware. When he gets spotted, I am looking. Unless they do in fact spot me before I even find, could be a possibility. Was a good shot in. Didn't take anything for it this time. Lost the M60 now, which is very unfortunate indeed. And now in the range for proxy spots. Right. Very dangerous here. Did put him to a one shot. Sure, he's gonna try to sneak up on me. And now both one shots. The extra reload speed, he's not gonna be able to get away. Definitely going for a track shot, that was expected from a rather good player. I got both of them. Good attempt on their behalf. Definitely not a bad idea. Didn't work out in the end. Let's see if we can get the middle under our control so I can put a shot across. Fortunately here we did end up getting spotted. Now he knows that we are here. The animal needs to fall back, not go forward. Oh, failed to penetrate the HE round. He's now safe one shot for themselves. And we get the kill. Pretty good comeback here. And we secured ourselves the victory. In the T110E4. Let's play it again and see if we can get another good result here. And end up the Tech Tree Showcase for tonight. Yeah, Max, I have asked before. Come back, nothing. Congrats on that, Senko. And we got our match. It's not a good tank destroyer map though. One of the worst, in fact. Let's see how well we're going to be able to perform here. It's gonna be vital for our two mediums to get that corner. Especially since they have a tank advantage for it. 75 does have the stock gun. Rest do seem to be having the proper equipment for the most part. Sadly, we aren't quite quick enough. Some shots in. Never mind. Ooh, we are. Got a good fuel tank hit there on that E50. And he does actually repair. Now I do want to play aggressive here, the reason being that they don't really have a T10 heavy tank. So I can basically perform the role of one myself here. With the help of that semi-turret. Bouncing the shot now. Oh, wait, they do have a tier 10 heavy, it just didn't show up. Put a track shot in. Reverse out. Oh, we avoided that shot. Close. Yeah, that's weak spot of D4, the cheeks. Oh, there's a drill behind us. Who I believe has been trying to go for an HE here, but did not quite manage to get the shot in. I think we got a good pounding back at him. 4,000 damage there. Let's see if we can hit the high ground here against those tanks in front of us. We are actually missing a tank here, the IS-8, not present. Also was looking to flank around. Ooh, rather unfortunate bounce. Managed to bounce his shot as well, successfully. Let's go for the more dangerous tank here, with being the VK. Fire! Pretty sure they are going to be able to take care of the Moisty together. So I shall turn around. See if I can fight off that ice. Good shot by the E1. Do manage to clear. Interesting trajectory from the missile. And can we also get the Moisty? Do we get both here? Oh. Snap! Yeah. And a successful evening for the T110E4. Getting a pretty good result here at the end. 4.3k damage with 3 kills. And that is basically the Tech Tree Showcase for today. Ending up with the T110E4 here. We started with a double ace on the M8 and the Wolverine. And then with some really good top damage numbers in the prototype. A 6k round in the T30 and solid games all around today. Really enjoyed this tech tree and I hope you did as well. And that leaves us with the end of this stream here. Let's just get rid of all of them. Yep. And that leaves us with just the last 5 tanks left here for the Tech Tree Showcase. The Object 140 shall be the last to be played. Due to the fact that we've done this 62A before, which has basically the same tech tree. And that means we shall remove the E4 from the pole. Let me just adjust it. And as before, well, as last week, now that we only have a couple of tanks left, there will be no community input necessary for the polls. And the next tanks to go into the poll will be the Sheridan, the I7, 268, and the Powerhouse here. And the poll will start now, so if you are not on the Discord server and want to take part in the poll, then please check out the link in the description down below or do !Discord and you can take part. Please though keep in mind to only vote for one tank, as the tank with the most votes will be picked next weekend. And had a lot of fun with the tech tree today. I hope you guys had as well. Wish you all a good night. Thank you all for watching and see you all again next time. Bye bye.